When I spit bars in a rave, man, I go hard like Santan.
Good evening and welcome to another episode of Muga. I am joined by our usual cast members. Just going to go around and introduce them all. Kareem, how you doing?
I'm good, man. It's good to be back on the pod. It's been a while.
It's been a long while. Football stopped, restarted. We've won some games, and now you're back.
Yeah,
Happy birthday!
Thank you. I appreciate that, man. It's good. It's good to come back
No
on
worries.
and talk about some winning United football. So
Yeah, good to see you. Good to see you,
Right.
Michael. We discussed this. You not wearing red. I don't know. Maybe we got lost in translation. So.
Nah, I had to bring back the title winning top in it. I had to bring it back, man. I'm still good.
Yes.
So.
Yeah, it's more pain for me, but I hear you. I hear you. Rodney, how you doing, mate?
Yeah, it's good.
Man, a few words, yeah.
Come on.
Seb, how's it going, man?
I'm here. It's 9 a.m. Still 9 a.m., guys.
Oh,
you know,
have some shame.
It's not.
This is one thing in life.
No shame. No shame.
Biggest fan. Still 9 a.m.
Wow. This is why I need Elijah on these pods, because he wouldn't be letting you get away with this.
My boy, Marshall.
Yeah. And Timmy, how you doing, mate?
Yeah, man. I'm there. Good to be back.
Yeah, man. You
2 weeks in a row, bro. It's good for me.
And you're staying safe as well, extra safe even.
Always stay safe, bro.
Obviously, everyone's going to be allowed out from the 4th, so that's this Saturday. They're calling it Super Saturday. Tells you exactly what everyone's thinking. Are you ready, yeah?
Bro, I'm ready, bro.
Great. Cool. So before we start, I have to do the usual plug. So obviously, we've got our Discord community, which continues to grow. We're at about 550 people on there now. So we're all on there. We host Touchline Live when games are going on, so we can kind of discuss, interact with our listeners. So yeah, log on, create a profile on there. For those of you who prefer the visual thing and are kind of over podcasts, we've got the YouTube channel. We post all pods up to YouTube, so this will be here in the morning as you're listening to the podcast. And finally, we sent out a survey to our listeners last week. I'll post it on the Muga timeline. Just fill that out for us. We're just trying to grow and improve some stuff, so we just want some feedback from those of you who've been listening to us for, feels like forever now. But with that being said, 2 W's, lads. Feels great. Because obviously I come from the time when every time you used to come on this pod, we were just discussing losses. So who wants to take it off? Michael, talk to me. What were your feelings on the performances this week? Let's start with the game against Sheffield United.
Yeah, that was a good game. That was one of the first times I watched United in the last few years where I've actually enjoyed the game from 0 to 90 and didn't feel stressed. Didn't feel like we were going to concede, like we were in control from start to finish. Sheffield United didn't really turn up. But at the same time, Martial was on fire. Martial was a man determined. He seemed possessed on Wednesday. He seemed really possessed. And he was clinical with it. Beautiful finishes, all 3 of them, man. All 3 of them. So that felt good. And then Norwich, obviously, as we'll discuss, yeah, it wasn't what we wanted, man. Like, I think the problem with United is the consistency. Like, we can usually put in a decent performance to get a big team that we beat City home and away. And then when you're expecting us to kick on, go on a good winning run, it doesn't always happen, man.
Yeah, keep talking.
Yeah. It doesn't always happen. Yeah. No, I saw you froze. I was like, right.
Oh, Michael.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Nah, you're recording this evening, so you're in charge. Don't even worry about me, bro. Just do your thing.
Oh,
man.
okay. Yeah. And then Norwich. Norwich was just a poor performance, man. Like the obviously we brought out some of the fringe players to let them show their worth, and I think a few of them showed us that they're not ready. They're not ready. All this sideways passing, nothing incisive, no one really breaking through the line. And then we had to get the bigger boys to come and bail us out, you know. So I think definitely Ollie, he probably knows already, but he definitely needs to look at some of the fringe players, and they're not even good enough to be fringe players for Man United. And we need to start really getting rid and start improving the squad most definitely, because we're not ready for that. Squad isn't ready to challenge for the title. And that's the truth about it. Them players aren't ready. There's a few of them that need to go.
Reams, what were your takeaways? I'm sure it's not going to be too different from what Michael takeaway, but looking a bit more detail at the games we played last week, what things did you like? What things didn't you like?
Okay, so I think the main takeaway that I would say from the two games is, for the first time this season, we kind of finally have like a clearer picture on what our actual strongest 11 is. And I think throughout the season, we've never really had a set 11 that we could say, yeah, this is the strongest 11 because of injuries and players not playing well. But like, I feel like the team that we played against, Sheffield United, that's probably our strongest 11. Obviously, most people say like Eric Bailly instead of Lindelof, but at the end of the day, like, Lindelof or Maguire is what it is, isn't it? Like, if you bring in Bailly, it's not that Bailly's going to transform that defence to anything way better than it already is. Like, at this point, the defence is what it is. So I feel like that 11 with maybe Eric Bailly as well is our strongest 11. Matic and Pogba is definitely our strongest midfield too. We've experimented throughout the season with various partnerships in there, and like, I feel like the best one we've had up until this point was Matic and Fred. And now that Pogba's back, and he's obviously a much better player than Fred, our best midfield now is Pogba and Matic. And of course,
Matic was looking good against Sheffield United, though.
Very good. Even when he came on against Tottenham, like when he came on against Tottenham, he was good. Like, and you know what I mean. And Fred has been good this season, and I like Fred. I've defended him on this podcast.
You like the pasta, yeah?
Yeah, I like Fred, man. I reckon he's a good player, but like, I think that's just it. He's just a good player, like, you know what I mean. Like, guys like Pogba takes a team to a different level just with his ability to make something happen out of nothing. You know what I mean. And Matic is just sometimes an experienced guy in there that knows how to play his role, knows what he's doing. And when Matic is actually playing well, like, he wins the ball back, he provides control, he breaks lines.
Seems like the answer to all our problems, to be honest, when he's playing well.
If he was 5 years younger,
yeah,
he wasn't like an uncle for half the season and good for the rest of the season, we might be in business. Martial and Rashford, again, like, as all season, they've been feeding each other all season. It's been them two with no help all season, just feeding each other. But now, obviously, they got Pogba, Bruno. Them two will always be able to make something happen for themselves because they're good players. And like, Rashford's finishing is still but the rest of his game is looking good. Like, his passing's looking good. He's still fast. Like, there's like nothing, like, he's still fast and powerful. Like, you know what I mean? Like, physically still looks amazing. Like, it's just, once he gets that finishing sorted out, that's a serious player there. Martial, as always, I like there's little things in Martial's game that he's doing a little bit better, like the pressing from the front, you know, holding the ball up, getting deep, linking play and whatnot. And of course, you know, Martial's a clinical finisher no matter what. And he's scoring 2 of the goals he scored on against Sheffield United.
Those tap-ins. Yeah.
I love that. I love a tap-in from Martial. Like, it don't have to be a pro clubs goal every time he scores. Sometimes we'll take a tap-in. Like, every striker needs to get 10 to 12 tap-ins per season. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, and Greenwood, I saw a lot of people on the timeline talking about Greenwood saying, oh, blah, 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 this and that, and this. He's not a right winger, rah, rah, rah. Listen, it don't matter what Greenwood is. He's the best option for that right wing out of everyone we have on our squad, no matter what anyone wants to say. And it might have seemed like Greenwood didn't do much that game, but the fact that he could actually just receive the ball under pressure and retain it and give it to someone is way better than anything else we have. Like, I'll take that. And you know, like, and you know Greenwood is always going to be a goal threat no matter what. So forget what anyone wants to say. That's our strongest front three. That's our strongest front six. I didn't really watch a lot of the Norwich game because obviously it was my birthday and I was doing what I was doing.
I wasn't even trying to watch that, to be honest, once I saw the lineup, to be honest with you.
And listen, I've said this multiple times. Who do we start? We had Lingard on the left and Matt on the right, right?
Yeah.
Fred and McTominay.
Bruno was in there still, and then Uncle Igalo up top. I
actually tweeted a lineup that I thought we'd play, and it was basically the exact same lineup. The only difference is I had Brandon Williams starting.
For sure.
I had Rashford starting.
Okay.
Basically the same lineup. Other than that, I think we've seen enough right now to know that McTominay and Fred doesn't work.
Yeah.
I think we've seen enough now to realise that McTominay shouldn't be anything more than a squad player. I feel like Lingard, I've always felt like Lingard is like a decent squad player, but this season he's just been so bad. Like
He looks shot, man. He looks.
I think he just needs a fresh start. I think he just needs to go somewhere else.
Everton.
Everybody, every top club, when they want to sell a player, they always say Everton, But Everton have taken so many of these players on. They ain't got no space no more.
They got more money than
that 40 mil for Iwobi, that was ours. That was the Lingard money.
Yeah, I don't know.
That was
how
the Lingard money right there.
I don't know how you man did that. What? I mean, the Arsenal man, how did they do that? Jeez.
That was our Iwobi money, man. So I don't know where he's gonna go now.
I think Serie A I don't mind. You should go Serie A. I can do all right in Serie A. I can have a but against Norwich, like sometimes in a cup game, like you just gotta do. It's like all that matters in cup games is winning. Like, you know what I mean? And sometimes you just gotta get past, like, because in a one-off game where it's like knockout competition, the team you're playing might can make it a little bit more, you know what I mean? So like, I'm not too fussed about the FA Cup. It wasn't a great performance, like from what I watched. Like, it was kind of slow and kind of like a lot of people was getting on Bruno as well. Like he does his thing.
We'll speak on that.
But you know what? But I'm actually very happy with the Sheffield United performance personally, because I watched all that game and I was happy with what I saw. I felt like we played well. I felt like our main players were linking up, which is like the most important thing for me. Like if your best players are all gelling and can show that they could all coexist together and play together, I think that's a positive sign. So
yeah. Rodney, did you catch the Norwich game?
No, I saw the lineup and zoned out. Actually, I caught the last 20 minutes when the big boys come on.
You did what I did. All right, cool.
Yeah.
So you can't even answer the question I wanted to ask you.
What do you want to ask?
I want to ask you, of the players in that poor performance, which ones of them do you think can possibly contribute? Because we can't basically play with how frequently the games are coming. We won't be able to play the same team game in, game out. So some of them will have to come in. So I wanted to get your thoughts on who could potentially from that batch come in and help. But you didn't really get to see the shit show, so you won't necessarily be able to answer that. Sebi, you watched the game against Norwich, didn't you? Yeah. What are your feelings in regards to that question? Out of those guys against Norwich, they weren't very bright. And you wanted to speak on Dallo as well, so you may as well put it all together. Which ones do you think could potentially come in and contribute when needed? Because they will be needed at some point.
I think even probably going on to tomorrow's game, I don't see Bruno starting because he played like the whole game, including extra time. So I don't see him starting.
What do you think Ollie did that?
I feel like he just wanted a bit of quality. Do you know what? If you look at it, it's a bit of a diss to the team that he put out. He's like, I want to put this team out, but I need Bruno and Maguire because you man are really bums in it. So he was thinking that Bruno's individual quality could probably see the team through in it. Yeah. So obviously Bruno played, all of the minutes, including extra time. So I don't see him playing. I see probably Fred coming in, and it being a midfield tomorrow. Say like Pogba, Matic, and Fred. In regards to just in general who can come and help, as I was saying before the pod started. So Dallo's linked with leaving United, and for me,
linked to a particular club, or is he just linked with leaving?
like a couple of months ago, it was like the big teams like PSG and Barcelona. But again, that could just be anything. Could be his agent. Could be anything in it. But even if he leaves, it's cool. For me, I feel like you're 21. You need to get some game time. But while he's here, I feel like he could be instrumental. So, for example, say we're losing. Or we're drawing. So we're drawing 1-1. The game is stretched. And you need to bring on an attacking player. Sometimes you don't always need to bring on a striker. You could bring on an attacking right back. So I was referring to the game that we played against Arsenal. I think it was last season when they brought on, I think it might have been Bellerin or somebody, and Rashford and somebody else on that side was just shattered, and just brought on a right back that could cross. And I see that as much as a threat as bringing on an attacking player. So in games where we're drawing and we need to go get the win, I can see Ollie bringing on Dallo because he can attack. He can throw in a 2-2 step over and stuff like that. I definitely see Igalo being part of, coming in and doing a job again. As you've seen.
What did you think of that finish?
I think it's a good finish, man. You just need to listen. You just need to make contact, bro. You just need to make contact.
And then yam. That's
Yeah,
probably
the
what
real
was
talk,
thinking
bro.
of
Real
saying.
talk. Man just best said. Man just, you know what I mean? Man just did anything, bro. So, you know, I was just happy he's doing that, and I'm happy he's scoring those goals. So I feel like Igalo can come on, and on top of that, again, he's just a different type of player. He's somebody that you're going to use as the battering ram, as in you're going to bring the ball into him. He's going to hold the ball. He's going to bring other people into play. So I feel like there's going to be certain games where that's needed, where maybe Martial might be not up to task in regards to it being physical, but obviously you might have to do a two, so you might have to bring on Gardo and play Martial. So yeah, man, I think those players definitely are going to be needed. Bailly, yeah, probably if he can keep fit, and that's it. Everybody else needs to get sold. Lingard, Mata, your time's up. AP didn't even play. McTominay, yeah, bro. You know,
Boy,
yeah,
boy.
you're my boy.
Yeah, I want to hear this one.
You're my boy.
I want to hear this one.
You've been posting some content in the chat, like some pro McTominay content. So answer for your cries.
Yeah, McTominay. Listen. You're my boy. But listen, Judas did betray Jesus at one point. So if I need to betray him, I will. Innit? You know what I mean? But yeah, man, he just needs to fix up, man. And yeah, that's it, boy.
Yeah, you got much more to say about that. Rodney, Timmy, what were your thoughts on this week that we've had? Obviously, we've drawn Chelsea in the FA Cup. So we're looking to beat them 4 times in one season. It's pretty unprecedented. And yeah, we're trying to chase down Chelsea and Leicester in the league. How do you think things are looking for us?
Firstly, let me just say on Sheffield United quickly that that was a good team performance, and I agree with Reams where he says that that's probably our best 11. Again, you know me, I'd rather Bailly than Maguire, but that's neither here nor there because it doesn't elevate us so much better. It doesn't make us so much worse, whatever. That was a good team performance. So if we could use that team going forward for most games, then I'm very confident going forward. That team that we played on Saturday against Norwich, bruv.
But you knew
Lord
from the
of
lineup,
mercy.
though. You knew from the lineup.
Bro,
the combinations just weren't going to work.
I kind of
do you know what it is though,
Sheffield
yeah?
United game, bro, when they made that platoon sub.
Oh my gosh! I switched it off.
God!
I switched it off.
Jesus Christ! I ain't gonna drop off in form like that.
Bro, them 5 came on, and I was just zoned out, bro.
Yeah.
But it set me up for what I watched on flipping Saturday because that was. Oh my God, bro, Lingard, yeah.
I feel sorry for him, kind of.
Bro, I actually feel sorry for the guy because he works so hard. He's probably the fittest player in our squad as well. Like, this guy was doing 10Ks during lockdown. He was every day. The guy was training, bro. You can just tell he wants it so much, but he's just not that good, bro. Like,
you have to. It's tough for those guys who've like come up through the club,
bro. It's so
and they've kind of they've had
him,
that
bro.
United rhetoric, like you're part of the club, and he's a local lad. He's from Manchester as well. For the fact that it looks like he may end up having to be shipped out, that's heartbreaking because this club is always known for almost 20 years.
If you look at his age mates as well, in fact, they're younger than him. But if you look at the people that he hangs around with, like Rashford, Sterling, and them man there, bro, starting players for top teams in England, and Lingard's looking like, yo, I used to be that guy who was touted as one of the next big things to come out of England, yeah, and. Bruv, he's just not that good. Like, he's just not that good, man.
You know what, though? I don't think it's less. I think the reason I feel sorry for him is because I think there's definitely a confidence element to it. Like Reem said, when he first came through, he was decent, man. He was decent, and he never looked like starting quality, but he looked like he could come on, make contributions in some games. He used to score goals. He used to score good goals.
He used to score bangers as well, bro.
Yeah, he used to score good goals. So
he won us the FA Cup.
FA Cup thing. Yeah.
Exactly. It looked like
scored a quality goal against Watford once.
Exactly. It looked like if this is all you can bring us, that's all right. We'll keep you around because I'm a fan of if it's a squad role, rather than going out and getting some Spanish guy, some German guy, fill those with players who've come up through your club who understand the club, understand the ethos. They keep that culture in the club. So I thought, yeah, I'm fine with him having that role. My issue was when he was seeming to get a bigger role than that. But I thought in that role he would have been fine. But it seems like in the last year or so, nothing. When's the last time he had an assist, even a goal or an assist? Isn't it like the middle of last year or something? Is
Bro,
it like
I think he got one. He got one by accident, didn't he, against Derby? So
in the league,
in the FA Cup. It was in the FA Cup. Oh, in the league.
Okay.
Boy,
in the league,
it's been a while, bro.
He's struggling, and the thing is, he keeps doing that thing, where he's trying to get the curler. Like, he's always trying to either get the curler or get the run, and then like he tries to do the toe poke thing, but it's always the ball's always running away from him. Like, so I feel like it's more than just a confidence issue, man. I just feel like he ain't concentrating enough. He isn't doing enough, man. He isn't doing enough because. Yeah, bro.
You're gonna call it that man's work ethic.
Yeah, it's gotta be more. It's gotta be a training thing.
If a man's not looking fat, I'm always questionable about doing that because we don't know what he's doing behind it.
Yeah,
I was gonna draw Timmy out for calling him the fittest in our squad because I don't know what that's based on, but I'll just go through instead.
That was a report. That was a report.
That was reported as well.
Yeah, not only was it just reported, but this, bro, I'm telling you, this guy's on Snap like through lockdown all day, bro. All he's doing is running, bro.
But he keeps doing the same thing. He keeps doing the same thing where like this is why I say he's not concentrating, he's not doing enough because he'll get into a position and he'll just shoot at the player's legs. Like, you keep doing the same thing. It doesn't make any sense, bro. I've seen you do it 50 times, bro, and it hasn't worked. Like, if it's not working, sort something else out. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, find a way. And do you know what?
Find a way.
No, but do you know what?
Just do something different, bro.
Do you know one thing?
His whole life, man.
Do you know what? Do you know? Wait. Do you know one thing quality players used to do? Yeah, when things weren't going well for them, they'd drop deep and get good touches on the ball. Yeah. So players like Rooney, when things weren't going well for him and he was in an attacking position, he'd drop deep and he'd get touches on the ball and he'd build confidence that way. Jesse Lingard is trying to get the ball on a half turn, trying to drive and trying to curl it, and it's going to the player's shins all the time. Bro, sometimes just keep the ball moving, get touches on the ball, be confident, move the ball fast, and you're going to build yourself into the game. But I feel like because he's been on a dire run for so long, he's just doing some dumb shit, bro. And it's, man. You know what I mean? I used to be, I've watched Jesse Lingard since, I can't remember, maybe since he was like 13, 12, or the same age. So I used to see the things he used to do growing up, and I used to think, this guy is going to be absolutely special. And when he come through, I had hope. I was always on the Jesse Lingard hype train. I was thinking, seeing this guy play since a kid, he's going to be absolutely special.
What sort of player was he when he was coming up?
Bro, just technically really, really good, bro. Technically really, really good. You know, he could goal plus players. He played in a variety of positions, played right wing, played centre mid, played attacking mid. And for me, I just feel like he was really, really good technically. And bro, like the thing is, like, I used to actually, like, sometimes I'd go games watching, like, see them in London, or like when I was in London, I'd go watch games. I just think, fam, although Pogba, Ravel, bad, absolutely sick players, Lingard was cold. Like, players like Lionel Cole, they were cold. But Lingard, I used to think, this guy is special, bro. And the thing is, like, I even used to hear a word from like certain like Man United scouts, because they used to come to a few of our games. They used to say that Lingard, they used to even talk about Lingard back then. Like, Lingard was the guy. They even had like they wouldn't take on certain centre mids because they always used to say, Lingard's the one that we're gonna have coming through. That was a fact. Like, where I know certain people that had trials for Man United, and they always just used to say, nah, like, we want to keep all our stock in Lingard. So to see what he's become now it's kind of disappointing, bro. Super disappointing.
Yeah, it's a tough road. Rodney, we were speaking about this earlier in the chat. You had quite a bit to say. Bruno Fernandes. He's a player who seems to be dividing opinion. I think for most fans, it is positive. But what are your takes on him? You have a bit of a larger sample size now. Still not a lot of games, but what's been your take on him since he's come back?
3 words: shoot and inshallah. That's his thing. It's bad, man.
It's bad, yeah.
It's
You're not
bad.
impressed.
You know what it is?
Don't
You know what it
forget
is?
the through balls, man. Don't forget the through balls and then
Oh yeah, and triangle. And triangle.
Boy,
You know what it is
Rodney's
with
about to
him?
drop an ether right now, boy.
You know what it is with Bruno? I think because he's even at United in the small games he's had since January, and maybe from what people have said at his last club, he's not played with quality players. So I don't think he's used to playing football where he doesn't have to do the gunslinging. So right now he's playing football as if he's the only quality player on the pitch because that's what he's used to. But he's got Pogba, Martial, Rashford, Greenwood. Those men are on the pitch. So just do some of the things he does is good. Like when he played the ball into Martial, slapped it, not against Sheffield, other game before that, and then a few little nice flicks and stuff. Sometimes do that, but more often than not, just keep the ball moving. That's what our better players are doing. You're playing amongst ballers now. You don't have to do everything. I think it's just a thing where he needs to get used to playing with quality players. I think next season, where we hope he's got more quality around him, we won't really see the gunslinging thing because it's bad sometimes. The last game, people were saying, I think it was Norwich. I was reading back on the timeline. People were saying, "Oh, he's tired, allow him." Sorry, what? We never heard them excuses for Pogba. Oh, he's tired, allow him. Bro, just keep the game simple. So with Bruno, I think it's just a thing where he's not played with players that are as good as the ones he has now at United. So he'll come good. He'll be all right.
Are you impressed by the? We have seen good things as well. Not to say that he's been all bad. Are you guys impressed by the good that you've seen of him?
Yeah, but we've been crying out for someone like Bruno for how long? But he just needs to find the balance now that he's got a lot of good players around him in the front 4 or 5. He's got good players around him now.
Decision making at the end of the day.
Yeah, definitely. He's got to just improve that.
I'll never hate on a player that tries to be proactive. Like he's trying to make a positive contribution every time he gets the ball. And we're so used to having players that are so like pragmatic in their play, like they take the safe option every time. So sometimes it's a little bit of a shock just to see a player that's so eager to make a killer pass or to have a shot towards goal. But like there's some times where he gets the ball and before he even takes a touch, before he even looks to see, he's already trying to go floop and fling the ball in between the gap that doesn't Like someone on the timeline said like Bruno plays like he can see ghosts because he's trying to play passes. And when you play like that, eventually some of the things you're gonna do is gonna come off. And make something happen. But like there's other times where you could have just kept the attack going. You know what I mean? So it's just like Rodney said, just finding the right balance between not trying to play the hero ball and not always trying to make something happen straight away, and just finding that right balance of just keeping it moving. And then you might even get an opportunity again in a better position to make a better pass. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Different pictures, man. Run a different picture. Play the ball and run a different picture. I think like if we was better in transition, like when we lose the ball, you wouldn't really mind. But when we play better teams, if you lose the ball like that, it could cost us some chances.
The difference between
100%. The only thing I say is that with the better teams, there's going to be more space for him to do all of that shit. So
yeah, for sure.
When there's more space, he probably is going to be able to capitalize. And then on top of that, one thing I say, the reason why I'm not too critical on Bruno, other than he's all lives matter thing, is because United are not buying another midfielder unless Pogba goes. So he's all we have. Do you know what I mean? So
you say no more Jack?
Fam, we like United are not gonna buy nobody else unless because you got to think about it. How long did it take for United to get 2 competent midfielders? Yeah, it took us long to even get Pogba. Then took us long to even secure Bruno. So what do you think is gonna happen? Like if Bruno's playing Port, he's just gonna play Port and be here. Like United are not gonna replace him. So for me, it's just more so I just kind of look at the positives in this game. I say, cool, he's trying things. I saw that little track back that he done in the Norwich game when it was like fucking he played
115th minute.
Yeah, 115th minute. He's track back.
People need to talk about that more as well because they made it seem
I respect that.
Bruno and Pogba in the same midfield, we're gonna be leaking chances. Left, right, and blah 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 blah. But they've both been working their socks off.
I respect it. I respect it.
Players like that. It's impossible for them to play together. Like, be serious. Like Bruno even came from Portugal with a reputation of being a workhorse. So I don't know what all this. I don't know if it was just Pogba agenda or something like that. Like, how are they gonna work together in midfield? Like, no one's talking about
like, workers. Yeah,
They've
shut
been
that
working
down with
together perfectly.
Exactly.
I think
Yeah.
I think where Bruno's doing all what he's doing, it's just allowing Pogba to just I've been so impressed with
Let's
Pogba.
talk. Let's talk
So
about Pogba.
impressed.
Let's talk about how Pogba's played since.
But if you watch the
since he's come
Sheffield
back.
United game, you'll see how Pogba's been playing in a two, how people thought he was playing when he's wherever else he was playing, France or at Juve. It's just so good. He's the way he's playing football. Just we've needed someone in the two who can break lines, who can pass the ball between the lines, and he's just playing. I think he had a hand in Martial's second goal, some of Rashford chances. So he set up
Rashford. He
created the most chances against Sheffield United.
He's just quietly going about his game, and it's so impressive.
You know, another interesting thing as well is that he's been playing on like the right side of midfield as well. And everyone like Pogba's like he's a middle wing player. He has to play left.
Middle wing,
He's been playing right centre mid in a 2, and he's been balling. So like, maybe we just need to give him more credit as well.
They
don't want to credit him, bro. They don't want to give him that credit, bro.
Do you know what? Do you know what it feels like when he's playing? It just feels like somebody who's just strolling. It just feels like strolling. It's almost like you can tell he's not even fully fit, like Seb said in yesterday's pod. But it's just feel for the game at the moment. It's like when he feels that pressure, he'll just use his body just to ease the person off.
He doesn't need to be fully fit because he's literally going through games where he's just slapping balls into our forwards. That's all he has to do.
At every stage of Pogba's career, he's proved that he'll be perfectly fine if he's surrounded by other good players. There's some guys
that's it. At a club like United, that's what you need for him.
There's some players that don't need to be surrounded by other good players to play their best, and there's some players that do. That's absolutely fine. It's a team sport. There's nothing wrong with being surrounded by good players. That's what every team should have. For Frank, Juventus, when he has good players around him that he plays well, take some of the responsibility from him. Always played well. You know what I mean? At United, he's always felt like he has to do everything. Now, it's just coming to him naturally. He doesn't have to force anything.
It's so good.
That's what I was saying yesterday. At no other club will you see the same midfielder have to take the ball off the defense, link defense to midfield, also be the one to link the midfield and attack, and then also be asked to be the same person who creates the final chances at the strike. It doesn't happen anywhere. It doesn't happen anywhere.
Those goals as well.
That's probably Gerrard at Liverpool still. Where he had to
Gerrard couldn't do
everything.
Gerrard could not do that.
He couldn't
do it, but he was expected to be that guy, innit?
He didn't pop until Alonso and Mascherano came through to help him out, because you want your best player to be put in a position to play his best football. So if this is a Pogba that we can expect with good players, then just bring more in. Essentially, is what you want. He could carry the team to a title as our best player. So
100%.
And he's still the best player in the league. Fact. I don't care what no one says.
Even like
I know Reeves wants to say something. Reeves was freaking his neck.
Nah, but like even like when you think about when you think about Maguire's goal, the ball into Garlo, top quality, man. Like Pogba into Garlo, top quality, bruv. Like,
just creating something, just making something happen.
Just making something happen, bro. Like, he doesn't have to get the assist or the goal, but he might be the person that starts off the attack.
That's what he did every game.
And that's Labille FC, fam.
Every game since the restart, he's the main man. He's building.
Building attacks, innit? He did it. He did it for Martial's second goal. He passed it out to Wan-Bissaka, crossed it in. He did the little chip where Rashford should have scored, but Rashford's rusty. That should have been an assist for Pogba. Rashford let Pogba down there, because if that was Martial or fully for Rashford, that's a goal. He was 1-on-1 with the keeper, and he just
played the pass into Bruno as well.
To Bruno.
That Bruno link up is looking very fruitful.
That's my favourite goal of the whole season, because that went from Pogba to Bruno to Martial to Rashford back to Martial. That
was quality.
That's all our like top quality players.
That's hard still. That's hard.
I think somebody was making a point. I think it might have been Disu in our chat, where he was saying that touch from Bruno, you swap that out for Lingard or you swap that out for Matt or James. They're probably just giving it back, or they're going out wide. Just that little touch there.
It's the arrogance.
It's just that bit of inventiveness, isn't it? That Bruno brings in the 10 role. Like, it's a breath of fresh air. Still, I'm not gonna lie. It's a nice bit of fresh air. Like, I'm sure Pogba's thanking his lucky stars at the moment. He's like, yes, Finally,
think-
do you know what I mean?
We talk about United, Paul, and I think he's probably one of the few big players in the world who probably would like, if you mention Manchester United, they'd be happy to play for us. But I think all he really wants is to be surrounded by a team that can win. Like, you're going to your national team and you're seeing Mbappe's at PSG and they're winning league titles for fun. You've got Griezmann's at Barca. Well, let's not talk about Barca. But you're
not treats, man.
you're around players who are at clubs who are winning things, and you're talking about just trying to get into the Champions League, man. So put that team around him, and I'm confident that will stay. He'll stay, should I say? Ollie has come under fire. Obviously, our fan base loves him, but he just calls it how he sees it. So I want to just get you lot to read on a couple of things. Obviously, Liverpool, they finally won a league title. We won't speak on that, but we will speak on Ollie, and essentially what he was saying is, I'll just read his quotes for you lot. We've got to be honest enough to say it is more difficult now. We've always had challenges, whether it was Arsenal, Chelsea, Liverpool, but most of the time it was just one of them challenging us. Finishing third wasn't normal. Now there are at least 4, maybe 5 teams that can win the leagues and the cups. For me, every time you see someone else lift the trophy, it hurts. I reckon that's the feeling for everyone associated with Manchester United. He came under fire a bit for these comments. People said he's making excuses. Maybe they didn't want to agree with him. People don't like him as well, especially online. I think less than the actual fans who go to the stadium. But what are you lot's thoughts on Ollie's comments there? For me, I think he's spot on, really.
You didn't tell a lie.
Why are they salty?
Someone put me towards the lie. Someone put me towards the lie. Even if it's an excuse, it's still true. Like, so, like, what is it?
I don't get. Even if people say it was an excuse, what did they expect Ollie to do this season? Win the league?
Nah, I don't know what they want.
So I don't know. If it's an excuse, what was your expectation? I don't understand.
Is it
they want elite mentality.
We're in because there's more team challenging. Like, that's not what he's saying. He's just saying.
No.
What do they want? They want elite mentality.
We're Manchester
United. I'm not gonna lie.
We can't be beaten.
I'm not gonna lie. When he says 4 or 5 teams could win it, like, that's not true.
It's two
It's
right
not true,
now.
yeah. So it's literally the same as it was in his time. We're just not in it. That's basically it. There's no like, it's a lot harder, blah blah blah. No, it's not. We're just not good enough to be in that queue at the moment.
No, because I think he's right, because all things being equal, we're probably the ones who are underachieving. So there would at least be 3, no? There would at least be 3.
And Chelsea.
And Chelsea, thank you.
That's 4 teams that could easily
bro, how long is it going to be underachieving for? Maybe you can fit Chelsea in the slot of underachieving, but this has been our reality for 7 years, bro.
But even
you know what I mean?
3 seasons ago, Tottenham was in the title race as well. That's a team that wasn't always that was nowhere near there.
If you also want to add Tottenham to there, then you could possibly can, because they've been in title races, bro. But we ain't been in one title race since we last won it.
Do you know why it's underachieving? Because it's relevant to the resources that you have available to you. It's no lie that there's a correlation between how much money and resources you have and the top of the table.
And winning.
And if you're talking about from a resource perspective, nobody has. Maybe you could argue City, but nobody has more resources than we have. So we are underachieving with what we have. Even with the squad, look at the money.
But Tottenham, they'd be overachieving. Like, everything Tottenham on the pot was overachieving.
Yeah, true.
Whereas us, it was all underachievement. You know what I mean?
No, I can hear that still. I can hear that, but I just think it's still it's excuses to me still, man. I just don't say nothing, man. Just show us something, because.
But what is it?
I'm tired of this.
What is he making an excuse for?
Bro, this whole 4 or 5 teams can win it. Like, as Mariah just said, we've got all the resources, we've got all the money, so there's no excuse for us to not be up there every single season. And we haven't been up there for so long. It's not about we should do better, or it hurts that Liverpool have won the league. Of course, it fucking hurts that Liverpool have won the league. No, no talk. Just do something about it now. Go out and get the Sancho that you're going to need to improve the team. Go out and get the Grealish that you're going to need on the bench to come on and play in the smaller games. Go out and get a fucking better centre back than Maguire as well while you're at it. And then
well, it's about 80 big ones there, big man.
Bro,
it's not.
I'll sell him for 15.
He's got money in
my
it.
life. I'll sell him for 15, bro.
You see, that's a problem. Probably that's our issue there. You cannot say that we haven't financially put money behind the club
and
to
that's
try and be
true. But then,
successful.
then,
But
then
if
why are we
you're-
not doing our due diligence then, bro?
But they, as
How
far as
many
they're
of our
concerned, they
signings
did.
have banged? How many of our signings since Fergie can you say, yeah, well done?
More recently, it's getting better though.
really?
You can't lie. Under Solskjaer, his signings have been better than they have been prior
Bro,
to
the
this.
guys,
Like,
the guys had what 3 transfer windows. We can't say nothing on Bruno yet because flipping when Mkhitaryan got a run of games under Jose and he was sick,
3 transfer windows.
everyone thought he was the man.
I think
So-
I think the transfer windows have been better. Like the play, like Wan-Bissaka, I've kind of obviously I'm not saying he's been excellent, but he's been decent.
And he's been very
decent
good.
to solid.
Bro,
He's been a solid defender.
Wan-Bissaka's been good. Bruno has started very well, but let's just
Hey,
we need
yeah,
like
let's see how
6
he goes,
months at
but he's
least.
been good.
And
Yeah,
Maguire-
name all of Ollie's signings.
Maguire's been
All
very
of
average.
Ollie's
bro.
signings have been good, in my personal opinion.
Yeah,
Even,
yeah, he's done well.
Even
Like, I
Darlow's
think-
been good. Like, come on,
You
like.
have to, you have to
I'm not
back Ollie's
having that.
signings.
I'm not
Ollie's
having
signings,
that.
he's been good.
Right, guys, stop
been better than-
each other. Hey, lads, let each person speak.
Oh, sorry, we just
Michael,
talked
go
Sorry,
on.
G.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we're
no,
talking over
we
each
just getting
other.
a bit impassioned. No, I think his signings have been much better. Like, I hear what Timmy's saying, but I think we've thrown a lot of money around, like 60 million on Angel Di Maria and the likes prior, and things haven't worked out. I think the signings that Ollie's been making are better. They're players that want to play for Man United, clearly aren't just here for a nice payday, are sort of got the work ethic, we can definitely say.
Okay,
Wan-Bissaka's
that point you
been
made.
good
Who do you
for-
think came here for a nice payday?
I think you got, and I think Angel Di Maria came for a payday.
Well, LVG was a LVG was a madman, yeah, and he was playing in a shit team. Like essentially, good players want to play around good players, and they want to compete in it. He
Yeah.
probably had a bit more issues because his missus didn't like the city, and if your missus
Yeah.
don't like where you're living,
No, you got
every day you
bounce,
come
innit?
home from training, you're going to hear about it. But there's no players that I can think really came here for the. Who came here for the money? That doesn't-
All right, then just put
Maybe
it like this.
Radamel.
Like there was
You say all of them did really.
the spending. The spending was very like mismanaged. Like I don't know what the right word to use is, but erratic. Yeah, good word. The spending was very, very erratic, bro. But now under Solskjaer, it's definitely improved. Michael made some good points. I'm still not spending 8 mil on Maguire though. Like,
I don't think anybody is. I don't think anybody
Exactly.
is.
That's the way
it's a bump. That's
that's
value for
exactly
money.
that is not
get a
value
better
for
player
money
for
at
80
all,
million than Maguire, but he hasn't been bad.
bro. Maguire's had an average season, and by average, it's 5 out of 10 season. If man want to talk
Give
about,
us
if man want
6.
to talk about De Gea, if man want to talk about how bad De Gea has been this season, bro, then you got to shine lights on Maguire as well, bro, because
The
he's
Gears
been
cost us way
spun
more
so
points
many
than he
times.
played this season. The Gears
Bro.
cost us at least 9 points this season.
Listen, I'm not disputing that, but Maguire's been getting spun, and he's out here being spun, bro. Like,
Yeah, he's getting
I'm just-
spun in it, Spinneroonie in that. But
bro, man, I say, man, are Booker T and him, man, are Booker T and him on a
Our
regular.
defense
Fam.
has been better this season than it was last season. So like, you can't say it's been 5 out of 10.
yeah, I
It's
think
the
5
only
out of
reason
10
why we- the only
harsh.
reason why
Bro,
we-
but he's not the
because
only.
of
He's not the.
goalkeeper, man.
But he's not the only one. He's not the only one that's come into the defense though.
Yeah, it's him and
Even
Wan-Bissaka.
So has
Wan-Bissaka,
Wan-Bissaka, and
They're both
Wan-Bissaka's
good.
been a stellar signing. I've been very happy with Wan-Bissaka.
They've improved our defense, have they not?
Wan-Bissaka's improved our defense.
But Maguire hasn't. Has Maguire made the defense worse? Maguire made the defense worse than it was last season.
Wait.
Yo,
I'm just interested to
What's
know,
this
like,
guy's
it's
name?
interesting,
Rodney,
like,
bruv.
he's not
Come
Van
and
Dijk.
fight-
He's
come
not,
and
but he's
fight
not
a
on the
battle,
court.
bro.
But
Don't
like,
be
he
typing in
hasn't
the
been
chat.
bad. Like,
Timmy.
Come fight a battle, bro. Because
Okay,
Rodney
cool.
likes talking and keeping quiet, bro.
Okay,
Rodney
cool.
likes talking and keeping quiet, bro. Unmute yourself and talk, bro.
All right, cool.
Come and talk.
There's another comment from Ollie that I wanted to get you lot's feedback from. So obviously we're seeing rivals getting busy in the transfer market, you know. So we want to know when ours is coming. So what Ollie said, I think the pandemic has hit everyone really hard. I still think we need to wait and see how things are panning out to know the real effect of the pandemic, to know what kind of financial state we're in. You see some teams invest, some teams don't. We'll have to take a big look at things ourselves to see how hard we've been hit. I know the club has announced a few numbers before. It's not for me to say now we are going to have X amount because I don't really know. I don't really know how hard we've been hit. We are a financially strong club, but we are also probably being hit more than anybody else. Let's see how quickly we can get our fans back into the stadium. And of course, the league position is going to be important for us this season. If we can get a trophy, the FA Cup or the Europa League. Obviously, the reason that he's even made these comments is because we've been heavily linked to Jadon Sancho for months now. Dortmund's CEO has come out and made it very clear that either you match our three-figure valuation of Sancho or Sancho's not leaving. And I understand that rationale completely. He's 20 years old. We all know if he stays in Germany for another season, his value is going to maintain, if not go up. He's at a fantastic age, so they have no reason to sell him. With Sancho in the team, there's an outside chance of potentially win the league with how dominant he is over there. So I say that to say this. What do you guys think is going to actually happen this summer? Obviously, like Ollie said, we can't know until things actually get to a head. But they're talking about, what, 110 million they want for Sancho? So what do you think is going to actually happen?
I'd pay it.
You pay it, Reams, yeah?
I'd pay it.
Yeah?
If we get into the top four, I feel like United will probably spend the most they've spent in a while, regardless of COVID or not. I feel like if we don't get into the top four, we're still going to be quite conservative. But I feel like
if we get top four and we win Europa,
if we get top four and win Europa, I feel like we'll definitely spend. But I feel like the biggest thing is getting to the Champions League, just because of the Adidas money. If we don't get to the Champions League, the Adidas money drops. And
the Champions League money as well.
Exactly, the Champions League money is a madness. Do you know what I mean? When you kind of look at it. So again, with the Champions League money coming back, if we get into the top four and maintaining the Adidas money, it would make sense to spend and kind of build on that. If we don't, then I feel like that's why he's saying, let's look at our finances, etc., because, again, we're not too sure how much we could spend. We probably might get, one signing and it'll be very, very late, like usual. Or if we get into the Champions League, then I feel like, we'll make some good moves in the window.
And when's the window open from? By the way, is the window open now?
Nah, it's not open.
God knows.
Nothing.
No. Yeah.
Champions League is
sure.
August, isn't it? So they may try wait until after Champions League is done, isn't it?
Or they may just listen. The Champions League is what? Is it some of the second legs of the Champions League? It's still going on, but then it's just going to be 8 teams left. It's opening on Sunday the 26th. Yeah, Sunday the 26th of July is when it's going to be opening.
Does it close?
I heard it's closing late.
October, I think it's saying.
Yeah, October. That's what I heard.
Wow. Open during the season.
Yeah.
While games are being played.
Yeah, because so I think the season, it looks like it's actually going to be. Oh no, England open in on looks like it's going to open on the 26th of July and it will close on the 5th of October.
Yeah, so October.
That's ample time.
Oh yeah,
that's ample time. That's why I said that I feel like they want to wait until we get into the top four before they make any decisions. In regards
to... It's a lot of money. It's considered all the money. But we have the biggest stadium, don't we? So, if not the top for gate receipts, very close to the top. Maybe some of the newer stadiums.
We are the top. Yeah, we're the top. Yeah, we've been hit the hardest. Us and Arsenal. No, both of us.
Okay,
both of us have been hit the hardest. Yeah, both of us have been hit the hardest. Obviously, Arsenal charge a lot, but we, just because of our stadium and how everything's priced, I think have been hit. We've been hit the most, innit? So that's why I get Man United are in a different position. But again, getting into the Champions League kind of offsets that, and then you can kind of go again, innit? So that's why I feel like they're probably waiting to see what happens before they start spending.
All the flipping work Woodward puts into these commercial sponsors, but we should be just fine. But every week, every season,
it's true. He's always been like, listen, the commercial side of the club is not linked to our success on the field, which for me is crazy because we are what we are now because the brand is associated with success. And there's only
fans in the first place, like
there's only so long you can go around not being successful until it starts to hurt. Like you look at Liverpool, they're in a great position now, and they were able to sign a huge kit deal. They were able to sign a huge kit, and they're doing things great behind the scenes. And I think they're the first club to have a net profit of 100 million after all things were said and done. So you see that staying relevant is very important. I think for us, you can feel like we're on the verge of having a great team. There's just a few positions that we need to improve in, and we can be right there. We can be right there. So let's close up now with some listeners' questions. linked to what I've just mentioned. So Nanku96. Since we know Shaw is a bum, if you had to replace him, who are your top 2 choices? I'll start with you, Reams, because you keep your ear to the streets in terms of the regulons and the reggaetons. So, yeah, let us know.
Since I brought man up, he's been, you man didn't rate my thing when I brought him up. There's a few interesting names. I've been campaigning hard for Bukayo Saka, but that doesn't look like it's gonna happen. I'd love to get Bukayo Saka. Like,
he's a very good left back.
Yeah, but he doesn't want to play left back in it, and I don't blame him. He can play wherever he wants.
What do you not think of Kieran Tierney?
Huh?
Obviously, we can't sign him, but what do you not think of Kieran Tierney?
I wanted him when he was at Celtic.
He's a neat player.
Yeah.
He's neat.
Yeah, I wanted him at Celtic. He do you know what it is? Yeah, some of these like left backs, yeah, like I just get flashbacks of how Bell came through in it. So that's how I kind of look at them. At Celtic in Scotland, he was very, very that attacking left back that had that wand of a left foot. And I really, really, really wanted him then. But again, had like an injury record, and probably United just didn't want to take the gamble. I was quite rattled when he went Arsenal, because I feel like if he stays fit, he's really, really up there. Like technically, he's amazing.
So the left backs that I would, if we got any of these left backs, I'd be happy with it. So there's Alex Telles at Porto. There's Jose Gaya at Valencia. There's Reguilon. He's on loan at Sevilla from Real Madrid. They're probably going to move him on.
Yeah, they got
Mendy.
40, and they've got men. They got depth, man. That's scary sometimes.
Real Madrid are mad.
The outside 2 that most people probably wouldn't agree with. There's this kid at AZ Alkmaar called Owen Wijndal. Young kid, he's about 20. Cold, been one of the best left backs in the Eredivisie.
What's he about? Like, describe him for most of us who haven't watched him.
He played against us twice.
Okay.
For AZ, good attacking left back, wonderful left foot, always overlapping. Someone good for Rashford, because Rashford, you know how Rashford likes to come narrow. He's a real overlapping byline left back. Good going forward. Defensively, I'd have to see a little bit more, but he's an outside one that would be good, I think, for like good price value for money, still good age. And the other one is Jamal Lewis at Norwich as well. Norwich are going down. He'll come back to the Prem.
They've got a handful of players who are Prem quality.
So I take him as well.
Are there any other names anyone wants to add to that list?
Alaba.
Yeah, weren't people saying
Bayern?
No. His contract ends next season.
They said he's not signing a new one, right?
That's why people are talking about Alaba
this season, though. No.
Yeah.
How old is he now?
He's only 28. Fucking
28.
hell.
He's been in the game a minute. That'll be a nice someone, a really professional.
I'll throw the bag at him. I don't.
Bring me Alaba.
Wherever you want, mate. Wherever you want.
He got 5 good years left in him.
Wherever you want, mate. I'll pay it.
And he's ready. He's ready. European quality. He's done it. He's a winner. Serial winner. He knows what to do.
And he's versatile.
Yeah.
He's cold. He's one of them players, and he plays in midfield for his country. Plays at centre back now for Bayern because they got Alphonso Davies. Yeah, he'd be great. Imagine him pairing up with Rashford.
Seriously.
And you know what? You know what it'll give us as well? It'll give us the ability to build from the back so much easier as well.
Yeah.
Like, just because he could pass into the midfield like
easy.
Like easy.
For sure can't do that.
So we haven't had that since Daley Blind.
Yeah. And the issue with Daley Blind was he couldn't run. Like, he'd have to play.
Yeah. That's a good shout. Any other?
There's Wolves have got this left back. I ain't seen too much of him. Vinagre, Ruben Vinagre.
He's gonna next season. He's gonna go.
You see, like I ain't seen too much of him, but I've heard his name a few times, innit?
Did you watch when they played Liverpool?
And that's the exact game that I was literally about to mention.
He's giving Trent business.
That's like probably the only time that I could say that I watched him properly. And
he out. Always a good sign.
He looks like something, but I seen like since lockdown's finished, I see like is Saiz that's playing over him at the moment, no?
See that Saiz guy, yeah? I've seen him play 100 times and I still don't know where he plays.
Boy, because if you got a player like him on the bench,
in a different position every time I watch Wolves.
Portugal,
I think they play Johnny left wing back a lot as well.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, do you know what? It might be Johnny left wing back and Saiss is playing in the centre.
Yeah.
So it might have been that because I was
Saiss
looking
is
at
in
the
the
other
back
day,
three.
innit?
Saiss
Yeah,
plays
yeah,
in the
yeah.
back three.
So because I was looking at the other day and I was like, oh, why is Vinagre on the bench? Like, because I wanted to watch him against Villa, and I see that he was on the bench. But yeah, man, I've heard good things about him, and obviously the one time that I saw him properly, he looked very, very good. So I'm interested to see what he can do next season. Portugal have got a lot of young ballers
I'm
coming
willing to
through
take
that
a
are
punt
very,
on a
very
young
good.
player coming out of Portugal and France right now. I'm not
Trust
even
me.
gonna lie. I reckon there's an 80% chance they're going to be good.
They've got a lot of very
I'm
good
willing
young
to take a
players
punt
coming
on any of
through,
them,
bro.
man.
Trust me.
What, you're French? Yeah, come to death
Yeah,
row.
let's go, man. Let's come. Like,
Oh gosh, yeah, it's scary. Is there any other name that anybody wants to mention who we haven't mentioned?
Boy, well, not that we should be going for what Chelsea go for, but they're looking at Ben Chilwell apparently.
Nah. Boo! Is that Tony on wearing that red top? Boo!
Hey.
Leicester has already bumped us once. Let's leave it at that.
Yeah.
They've already bumped us once.
You know what I mean, fam?
Just allow us now, man.
Boo! Nah, we ain't having Chilwell over here still.
What about the youth at Ajax? What's the youth's name?
Tagliafico.
Yeah, apparently
He's solid. Nothing impressive. He's like what, 28, 29?
I think
I
so,
think-
but Ajax are willing to let him go.
Go for Alaba, innit?
Yeah, I think what you see around the world is that two good fullbacks, especially going forward for the bigger teams, it transforms your whole attack.
Needed.
Because good attacking fullbacks lead to good chances, which leads me into this question for you, Rodney, from Haradam's one. Do you think Rashford, Martial and Greenwood are good enough striking options to win the Premier League and or Champions League? Would you be happy if we didn't sign a striker for the next 3 or 4 years?
No, I don't think we could win on all fronts with those three. I don't think Greenwood's quite ready to give us what we'd need to win. What we'd need to win the Champions League and the Premier League. So I think we definitely need another striking option. And what was the third part of his question?
That was it. You pretty much answered. Do you think they're good enough to win the Premier League and or the Champions League?
I think we can contest for the league, providing we get another right wing. But it's just a difficult one.
Like, there's no two ways
Yeah,
about it.
it's a difficult one because you're looking at it. What is Greenwood going to give us next season? How many goals is he going to follow on from this good season? Is he going to you can't really tell what Greenwood's going to give you. He could go on and have another great season, or he could go and just play more first team football, and you get more inconsistency and less goals. So
Green. This is Greenwood's first season as a pro. He's a second-year scholar. Like the only other second-year scholar that's playing regular football in the Premier is Saka. He's trending this way, like that.
Yeah.
And the more he plays, the more comfortable he looks. So I think it's safe to bet that Greenwood is going to give us good production. But here's my thing: we shouldn't need to rely on him.
Yeah.
To be one of our main producers. We should give him a role where he kind of like eases way.
Added on top. It's added on top. Yeah.
That's why I don't know if those three are the three that I would say would lead us to a title. I think if you bring a right winger and then say Rashford, Martial, Pogba's goals, Bruno's goals, plus Sancho's goals, if that's the right winger we're going to get, that would probably be a better example in this question.
I think Rashford and Martial both need to make another leap. Like they both made a leap forward.
To make,
I think they made a leap from good players to
very good players,
and now they need to make the next leap from really good to world class. You know what I mean?
They've got that. Do you think they've both got that leap in them?
100%. I definitely. Rashford, 100%. Martial, I strongly believe so.
Yeah.
It's a 9 a.m. fam. He's got that.
Yeah, I think both of them have that potential to be able to do that, providing you put the right pieces around them.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, if we lose Matic and we have to play McTominay and Fred again, then you're looking again at a disjointed team where maybe they don't get the ball as much because Pogba's having to do a bit more defensively because Matic is obviously a better player when he's plugging the gaps than McTominay and Fred. So if you put the right pieces around them and you have the right manager, I don't know if Ollie's that right manager for them. It looks like he is at the moment. So then put the right pieces around them, then yeah, they definitely can make that leap. I mean, it's not the easiest leap to make, but it's not for those guys and their ability. It's not outlandish.
Remember, they've had a tough last few years. This is really Martial's first full season, having a consistent run up top. Even
It's
when
only
you're
their first 4 or 5 games together.
This is Martial's first season as a striker ever in his career.
Yeah,
honestly.
Yeah, he's in left forward, isn't it?
Yeah.
Left wing.
and he looks a different player now. He's playing on a different. He's probably been our best player. He's playing on a different level.
He scored the most goals in the league in 2020. I'm sure I've seen that somewhere.
Yeah.
No quote, man. I'm pretty sure I've seen he scored the most league goals in 2020.
He looks
it's
sharp.
going from strength to it's going from strength to strength.
For him,
yeah.
Another, he scored a couple over there.
Yeah, Ings is bagging. Got a question for David Sharps, kind of leading to what we've just been discussing. We obviously need to sign new right wing and DM, but what type of skill set should we be looking for in these two players to complement our best 11? I'll hit you with that one again, Rodney.
So on right wing, we need goals, and we need a natural winger, in my opinion. We need.
You say goals. How would you feel if we got Adama Traore?
Yeah, why not? Why not? He's more of a.
He's not goals though.
Yeah,
he's not goals. But
I think we need creation from right wing more than goals, because Rashford gives us goals from the left. Martial up front, and Bruno gives us goals from number 10.
I'm thinking, if you look at the teams that have won the league, they score a lot of goals from all over the pitch.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking right wing, I want someone who's a natural winger and who can give us goals. That's the skill set. I don't really want someone who's going to be cutting inside. Because I think with Bruno and Pogba and whoever else, Martial when he drops deep, we don't really need someone that cuts inside. Mahrez would be perfect.
You want like a touchline winger.
Yeah, I want a touchline winger. And a DM, probably in a Matish mode, but someone younger. That would be my thing. And someone who's a better passer, probably, than Matish.
I think we need an athletic DM that could progress play. So they're mobile, they could defend well in transition, and when they get the ball, they could play a good pass between them. They don't need to be able to Tony Cruz switch, run, just a nice aggressive pass in between the lines into the attacking. And you can run around with the ball back.
Matish does it on occasions. He can slap balls in. So if we can have someone who consistently does that, and someone like Reams was saying, who's a bit more athletic than Matish, so younger, in my opinion, then we'd be all right. I don't think we need too much mad things from our right wingers and DMs in terms of skill set. It's just what you'd expect, basics from a DM, and probably for me, right wing, I want someone more of a touchline winger. Like Mahrez would be perfect for me.
I'd take Adama Traore. I don't know about you.
Like. I would take him.
I would take him. Definitely.
I would take him. My worry is like he's always. Is he going to start this week because he's got a shoulder injury, or he's got this injury, he's got that niggling injury?
But I was literally wondering, is he unfit? Like,
I think he's
or
got
does he have fatigue issues or something?
No, I think he's got.
Is he always coming off the bench?
Because he's bro. He's like always in and out of the starting lineup. Like, and I really don't understand it.
It's just Wolves, but their rotation is very good, and they played 100 games this season. Honestly,
but they normally play with the same man.
The only one that always starts is like the midfield too, like Neves, Moutinho, and Jimenez.
Jimenez is always starting. Cody hasn't missed a game since they come up to the Prem.
When Bowley's fit, he always starts.
Cody's playing every game. Doherty's playing every game. It always seems to be Jota and Adama. That's one or the other kind of thing.
And you know what? They don't really have options on the right as
well.
They got Neto as well, but he's always coming off the bench, Neto, isn't he?
He's not bad, you know.
They have a decent rotation.
Yeah, Neto's calm.
I would definitely take Adama. I'm not gonna take Adama when I watch DJ every week. So I'm not gonna
say that about a number of midfielders, though. If we're putting it like that, boy.
So I would
say if DJ is a bar to me, that bare man are clearing it.
Not true that, but if you're looking for titles,
as a winger, I take ahead of Daniel James. I'm not joking.
Yeah,
probably.
A winger, I'll take it.
Bro, Matt Ritchie's a right back now. I'd rather have him over flipping Daniel James, bro.
Newcastle, give me Maximan over Daniel James right now.
Traore is a good player, though.
He is a good player.
But it's the goals, man. I think you with the formation, you need 3 goal scoring forward. You want a forward that's going to get you minimum 10.
You see, I'm closer to what
10 goals. Bruno will give you 10 to 12 goals.
The thing is, though, I'm more with Reams. I don't think we need more goals. I think we need more chances.
Creativity.
We've seen that Rashford and Martial on limited chances can score a decent amount of goals for us. So essentially, what you want is them to have more chances. So this is more opportunities for them to score goals for us. Adama does that. Like Adama, they stick 2 man on Adama. He just deal with them, and he's always getting
strong.
He's always getting a ball. He's always getting a decent chance into the box. Jimenez has been eating as a result. So I think someone like Sancho, creativity is off the chart. Creativity and decision making is off the charts. And even though you wouldn't necessarily call him a traditional winger, I think you put him in there and we feast. So he makes sense. But for me, yeah, that more than the goals, because like Reem says, like Rodney's also mentioned, there's goals for midfield as well. There's goals for midfield. It's essentially, is that player coming in and complementing and essentially improving what we already have. So we know what our guys bring to us. We just want them to be able to do that at a higher level more.
Yeah, it's weird though, because I don't want to overlook how many goals teams in the recent history of won the league have scored to win that league. So I don't want to get.
But we've got goals from everywhere, though, innit?
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. How many goals did Liverpool score this season? Last season,
all three their forwards are
Liverpool's
scoring.
scoring has been very top heavy, man. Firmino scored what?
Yeah, I was going to say, Firmino's not scoring a lot. He scored 9 goals in all comps this season.
I think you essentially need your main scorer to get you 2 goals every 3 games. The next scorer to get you 1 in 2.
2 players that could do that for them. They have Mane.
Yeah, and then you need a third scorer who's going to get you 1 in 3. So I think
in our case, I don't think it needs to be that heavy because we still got Greenwood, we still got Bruno who's going to chip in, we still got Pogba who's also going to chip in.
Yeah, Greenwood got.
No, what I'm saying is
this season.
What I'm saying is if we like, let's say that the midfielder, the winger that we get is Adama. So what he doesn't bring to the team in goals is filled up anyway, because Greenwood's going to get us goals, Bruno's going to get us goals, Pogba's going to get us goals, and obviously Martial and Rashford are going to be the main 2 goal getters anyway. And so we don't need a winger that's going to like get. Bro, I won't mind a winger that gets us like 1 in 4, 1 in 5, as long as he's creating enough chances.
No, that's dead, man. I can't. 1 in 4 is bad for me.
It's not too bad for me when we've got a Bruno that's going to get you enough goals. When we've got a Pogba that's going to get you enough goals. Yeah, Liverpool don't have 3 midfielders that are going to score enough goals. Yeah. That's why the onus is on their forward 3 to get the lion's share of the goals. Yeah. Whereas
their defense to be resolute as well.
Exactly.
They don't concede.
But we've also got City. If we are talking about us being title challengers, we've got City who are scoring 90 to 100 goals. So and they're only going to improve. My thinking is just we're going to need goals.
No, I agree. I think we need.
I think there's goals there.
There's goals there.
There's definitely goals there, eh?
A winger to score 10 like that. That just mean it. I guess
10 goals from the wing to me is amazing.
I was gonna say that's a very good season.
Double digits for a wide guy is very
I'll go. 10 to 15 goals. I'll be happy with that.
Give me 10 to 12 assists with that as well. I'm happy.
Yeah,
bro. Give me 6 goals and 15 assists, and I'm good. I mean, give me 6 goals, bro. Just be creative. I don't care if you get no goals, bro, but your assist numbers are going to be mad.
So what are we saying? Like, we're speaking on goals and stuff. How many goals are we expecting each individual to get next season then?
I want Martial.
I think Mariah said it. Mariah did it well, innit? When he goes, you want your main striker 2 and 3.
Yeah.
Then you want your second best goal scorer 1 and 2. Then if you've got like a Bruno or something that's chipping in with maybe 1 in 2, 1 in 3, 2 and 5 kind of thing.
Before the football finished, we had Rashford at 2 and 3.
Yeah.
Martial at 1 and 2, and we had Greenwood at 1 and 3. And those are essentially those are your regular goal scorers. And then you have your complementary goals from your Brunos, your Pogbas, and then obviously maybe 5 or 10 goals chipped in from all over the pitch. And then you've got like
and goals wise, how far are we off of like just say City and Liverpool in the league?
Give me a second. Let me pull up the table.
I would want next year. I would want Martial to hit like 25. If he's playing up top all season and that he doesn't get injured, for me, minimum 25.
Martial 25.
Liverpool have 70.
Yeah.
Okay. Manchester City have 77.
Yeah.
We have 48.
See, we're missing quite a few goals, and
that's a lot.
That's quite a few goals we're missing there.
That's a lot, and our defense isn't strong enough. Our defense isn't strong enough.
Can you find out how many goals like we scored since January or something like that?
Yeah, true. Yeah. That would give
That's
us
a
a
bit-
sample size going forward. Yeah.
With Bruno, innit?
I'd
Yeah,
have
with
to look
Bruno.
into it.
That's
Okay, so
beyond me right now, but
Yeah.
Hold on, let me jump on. Let me jump on Insta
I'll do it. One sec.
right now.
One
No,
sec.
because I'm just thinking, if you're going to have Marshall up top, we're saying he's a striker, he's up top. I think 25 goals. We need to be putting pressure on these strikers. If we're going to say if him and Rashford are going to have a lion's share, then we need to put that pressure on them. That's what I'm saying. And Rashford,
so what's that? Is
minimum
that
15.
25 goals in what? All comps?
No, in the league.
Yeah.
25 in the league?
No.
Nah,
No, I never said league. All comps. All comps.
He's close to doing that this season, though.
Well,
I
what
don't
we
think
got?
that's enough, man. 25 goals in all competition, that's not a lot, man.
You want like
As a
Raheem
minimum.
Sterling.
These are
Raheem
minimum.
Sterling gets that from the wing.
These are minimum.
That's more like what you want your secondary scorer to
Yeah.
get. You want your top guy to get you 30 plus, to be honest with you. Like Marshall's got 19 this season, and we've got about 7 league games to go, and however long we have
we've got
left
about
in Europa League.
So just
And
to
FA
touch
Cup.
on Bree's point, it's about 40 goals since January.
Hold on, 40?
So that's 40. That's not
All
bad.
comps.
All comps.
All
Okay.
comps. All right. Let's okay. If I
That's
say
good.
league then, because Vardy's top scorer now is 19, I think, and it'll
Yeah,
probably end
then-
up being about 22, 23. That'll be my guess. About 22, 23. That's probably what it'll end up sort of being. So minimum 20 goals in the league then for the top
Cool, yeah.
striker. Minimum 20.
Anything 20,
15
25,
15 for Rashford. Minimum. Like this is like at standard, and then 2 players on 10, and then that should see us being competitive if the defense gets sorted out.
That's 50 goals from 4 players. That's loads
Yeah.
in the league.
That's you probably want that close to 40. I mean, 40 is more realistic. 50 would be great, but 40, 45 would be like, yeah, that makes sense. Got a final question for Iovelli. I think he's a bit disgruntled. When do you think the club will ever learn its unnecessary contract extensions? Giving Mata and AP new contracts help push Gomez out. We can't shift Jones and Rojo because of stupid contracts. I open that up to the floor. Who wants to address that?
Erratic behaviour. Erratic. I think these legacy contracts they got these people on is bonkers. Why are you giving Andres Pereira, a player that you don't play, a new contract? Like, where's the logic in that? You don't use it.
To be fair, he was playing pretty regularly. Too much, to be honest.
Around the time he got the contract.
Not before the contract. It's after the contract started.
Yeah.
Heavy minutes.
Yeah.
Oh, was it?
But that was really. I thought it was like January times he signed it.
Yeah, I thought he was
January
playing when he
of
got
this
that
year.
contract.
Yeah.
He signed a new contract in January.
I think so. He signed one this season. Let me.
I'm sure. Yeah, I thought it was this season he signed.
Like,
one.
obviously, no, he playing. Obviously, now he's completely out of the team. And I appreciate there was a period where he had a decent run in the team, but he's never been the main sort of guy. Maybe they thought he could be a squad player, but he's not good enough. I think it's long accepted that he's not good enough to play. Phil Jones needs to keep it moving. I don't know why we're giving these guys new contract. I don't know the logic. The logic doesn't make sense to me.
Right time on in the summer.
In the summer.
Yeah, I think that was their intention. Like, well, we have intentions of using you quite a bit. I think Ollie's done with him now. To be honest with you,
That was a 4-year deal, though.
Yeah, to 2023. Yeah,
that's a long time.
We're gonna have to take.
Yeah, but they expect it to go well, don't they? They're going to give you a
do.
long-term contract rather than a short one because
you
could do whatever you want. Yeah.
They're going to have to take cut prices, isn't it? That's what they have to
To touch on his point, no, I don't think those new contracts is what's pushed Gomez out. He wants to kick ball. It's not because he's a better player than AP and Lingard at the moment, you would say. I don't think it's because the new contract. I just think he wants to play regular minutes, so he's gone.
The manager don't fancy him. Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm rating these youngsters doing more of that though.
He needs to do it because he's not going to play regular. It's not as if like AP and Lingard and Mata are playing regular minutes either. So I don't know if the new contract.
He might even get garbage time minutes right now.
Yeah, I don't think it's a case where maybe the Bruno signings maybe affected him more so than the newer contracts for people like AP, Lingard, and Mata. I just think Gomez wants to kick ball. He could easily sign a new contract and get minutes next season, but he wants to kick ball. regularly. He's looking at maybe what Sancho's done, maybe what a few others have done more recently, and thought, nah, I need to play ball. I don't think it's a thing where we've pushed him out. He just wants to play ball and he's gone.
Yeah.
That's what all the young players need to do. You know how many young players we've lost to the system because they've signed one contract too many?
It's almost like, I want to stay on Manchester United's book so I can still say I'm a Man United player when I'm only playing under 23.
Yeah, Gomez probably signed one contract too many. He should have left before the last contract he signed, and he probably would have been in a better position now.
Like, I'm a big fan of you go somewhere a bit smaller and you build up your name, because essentially these teams are only going to play you relative to the clout that you have when they buy you. So I buy you from, I don't know, he goes to the Netherlands, he goes to Spain, Portugal, somewhere where his sort of game is allowed to flourish. A team is now, rather than you coming through the youth system, we've invested 20-30 million euros in you. Now I have to play you because I've spent money on you. Rather than you, and like, always back your talent. Sometimes you'll be wrong, sometimes you'll be right, but back your talent and back yourself, that if I'm given a platform to play, I will make sure the team that had me regrets it, but then I make sure I have a long and fruitful career, because these guys aren't at Manchester United for no reason. At 16, 17, 18, they're standouts for their age group. But then you need to play. So then you're seeing the guys who probably weren't as good as you at 16, 17, 18, get that regular playing time, 18, 19, 20, 21. Now they've got 50, 60, 70 top level games while you've played 10 or 15. And like Reem said, they're garbage time minutes. And your game hasn't progressed because you haven't learned the things that you don't do well, the things that you do well, the things that you can do at youth level, but you can't translate it to the men's game. And then they end up just, next thing you know, they're at in Fleetwood. So more people do that.
It's just one of them things, man. It's football.
I know what people have to realise is, it's not that, it's very rare that a youth player makes it through into the first team. Let's keep it like, people need to understand this. Like, it's not, a youth player making it into the first team isn't normal. Like, it doesn't happen all the time. We're just, United as a club are just very lucky. Like, even since, like, before Rashford, who would you say is the last top level youth player we had? Darren Fletcher?
Yeah, probably. Probably Fletcher's the one that came from the academy. When we say top level, it's debatable.
So it's not like something that. So youth players, leaders, this isn't anything new. Like,
it's football, isn't it?
It's just because
the legacy of the Neville's and that,
in the world. Like, they think that's gonna happen to every player that deep. Like,
it can't.
Like, if one youth player out of an age group makes it in your first team, that's
a good thing.
You've done well.
Like, you know what I mean?
That's
a player that you've invested in from they were kids up all the way to your first team. Like, you can't be happier than anything than that.
Oh, that's big. That's big. That's big. It's a dream for everyone they sign in it. They know it's not going to happen, but it's a dream, isn't it?
We definitely should have utilised the loan system more with him, though.
We don't do that enough. That I know who's in charge.
Chelsea have patented it. Like, the thing is, Chelsea, they'll patent it to the point where they'll bring a player in at a young age. They'll get him loaned out, and the worst case is worse, they will make good money back on what they've spent for their player. So either he makes it through, which not many of them have done, or we're selling him for a decent fee where it's like, okay, the investment we invested up to this time has made it worth it. Like, that's how you do it. That's how you do it on Football Manager. You cop all these 16-year-olds from wherever you're copping them from. And then you loan them out when they get to a decent age, and then, all right, someone wants to buy him for 20. Yeah, all right, he's not making it in my team.
Yeah, we definitely could have made some change on Gomez, but losing him for nothing now.
That's the worst thing that's happened.
It's a loss because obviously I think he's
using a top youth player for nothing hurts, especially if they go on to be very good.
You have to buy him back for 89 million, innit?
Yeah, he was very highly rated, and I think maybe they were waiting for him to grow a bit. Like, okay, technically he's got everything he needs, but that's beyond. So I wish him all the best, man. I think he should go to a league that's very heavily focused on the technical side of the game and allow the things that he does to really flourish. And you just go from there, really, man.
Yeah, I think it's easier pill to swallow now that we watch Bruno and we don't watch the other 2 or 3 starting every week. So
because when he wasn't getting game time, and the alternative was the Matters, who's lost all that spark in his game, and the Lingards and the APs. It's like, when he does come on, he's small, but he's good in possession. He uses the ball well. He's comfortable in tight spaces. But it's England, isn't it? So there's only so. If Messi was trying to come through here, probably would have had to leave at 18 as well. So go from there. So lads, once again, I want to thank you all for your time. We've got a game tomorrow against Brighton, so hopefully we can be celebrating another dub.
I feel sick. I'm looking forward to United games again. I'm
Yeah.
excited.
Yeah, trust me.
Back here.
You love
It's
to
bad.
see it. You love to see it, man. Another Pogba show for me, please. Thank you.
Definitely.
Lads, take care, everybody.
Later.
Respect.
Guys,
Blessings.
When I spit bars in a rave, man, I go hard like Santan.